Imagine a war of the powers where AI takes up the front row and robots start killing humans. Well, that is exactly what's going to happen, since the start of this AI war is happening right in front of us. The mainstream media might not tell you this, but Japanese killer robots have murdered 29 scientists. Welcome back to AI Zone. What more is waiting for the doom of humankind and the rise of AI? Keep watching to know more about what happened. Imagine a military drone powered by artificial intelligence that can automatically patrol the borders of a nation or area, choosing who lives, who dies, all without need for a human operator. Do the same with helicopters, bipedal robots, and tanks. Lethal autonomous weapon systems, or laws, are a part of our not-so-distant future. The UN Conference on Controlling Laws in Warfare in Geneva this past August agreed to reconsider it in November. The United States, Russia, Israel, South Korea, and Australia started the stall. Nevertheless, not everyone feels the same way. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, and 2,400 other top artificial intelligence experts have signed a commitment against killer robots in July, pledging not to work on or create devices that can recognize and attack people without human supervision. Without these researchers joining the team, governments may acquire the required skills and resources to develop their murderous tin men. Keep imagining with us if you will, as we tell you this scene. A woman is seated at the podium and is studying her notes. Her demeanor is grave. She seems frightened. She adds into the microphone, "Last week at a leading robotics business in Japan, 4 robots being developed for military uses killed 29 humans in the lab." Gulp. And it only gets worse. This next fact is going to send you into chills. The frightening aspect is that the lab staff disassembled and deactivated 2 robots. Now the woman's voice is heard trembling, but what she clearly states is that the 4th robot started to repair itself and is somehow linked to an orbiting satellite to obtain instructions on how to rebuild itself even more effectively than before. What the hell? This story's author is not a Hollywood screenwriter. This is from the journalist Linda Moulton Howe. Howe, a Stanford alumna and former Miss Idaho, received honors for her work in Denver, Atlanta, and Boston TV stations in the 1970s and 1980s. And yet she developed a fascination for UFO and conspiracy theories. This substantiates how Howe must have ended up in one of those secret situations. Ike Bishop, a fellow ufologist, described Howe as perhaps the most preeminent UFO investigator in the world in 1998. Howe is convinced that extraterrestrials have visited Earth numerous times, but now she is more worried about robots built by humans. Because the Robotics Corporation has too much to lose, and the government wants AI robot troops, according to her, the slaughter of some scientists have been kept quiet. Although she gave her speech in February, it recently gained popularity online. According to The Independent, Howe's talk video has been seen more than 100,000 times on Twitter this week. Unknown drones repeatedly dive-bombed London's Gatwick Airport throughout the same week, forcing the airport to close for more than a day. Honestly, it's difficult for any sane individual to believe Howe's tale of this robot massacre. This is some serious shit, Linda. Bet you're not going to hear about this in any news, the person she spoke with on the phone, who claimed to be from the CIA, said to her during the interview. And you'd certainly get scrutinized when you're a well-known conspiracy theorist like Howe. Linda has been seen in one of the videos shared online, stating about the massacre that happened at a top robotics company in Japan that specialized in the manufacture of robots mainly for military purposes. Who knew that this would be an experiment for the doom of the very scientist who created it? The scariest part to be noted is how the 4th robot came into action by simply restoring itself. How powerful is AI? How is it overpowering the very thing that invented it? There is no evidence to what has been reported by Howe, and even if there is, it's not going to hit the mainstream media. None of which implies that we have nothing to be concerned about though. Machines may not have killed several scientists in Japan covertly, but things may change. Did you know that this exact outcome has already been predicted by the business tycoon Elon Musk? Elon Musk thinks that AI may one day pose a genuine threat to humanity. Musk recently stated that the relative IQ ratio between humans and AI is likely equivalent to that between a person and a cat, or even larger. "I believe that we need to proceed cautiously as AI develops," said Elon Musk. Still, no evidence has been laid down by the ufologist or by the Japanese government to confirm this incident, but it does leave us humans with our doubts. What has major international organizations stated about AI being introduced into the military? Let's take a look. Leading experts in robotics and artificial intelligence are urging the UN to outlaw the creation and application of killer robots. A group of 116 experts from 26 countries, including Elon Musk of Tesla and Mustafa Suleyman of Alphabet, advocate for the outlawing of autonomous weaponry. Recently, the UN launched official debates on weapons such as drones, tanks, and automatic machine guns. Before this, a group of AI and robotics company entrepreneurs wrote an open appeal to the UN, urging them to stop the current arms race for killer robots. The founders of the Treaty on Conventional Weapons warned the review conference in their letter that the arms race could lead to a third revolution in warfare, following gunpowder and nuclear weapons. Lethal, autonomous weapons, once perfected, will enable armed conflict to be fought at a scale bigger than ever and at timelines faster than humans can conceive, the founders stated. These can include weapons of terror, weapons used by terrorists and despots against defenseless populations, and weapons modified to behave badly. Researchers have already expressed concerns that the advancement in AI will make it possible to deploy autonomous weapons in years rather than decades. While AI can be utilized to make the battlefield safer for military people, experts worry that the autonomous offensive weapons will lower the bar for engaging in combat and lead to more human casualties. Are we, in the run for advancement and power, opening a Pandora's box that will let us into our own doom? The UN's Convention on Certain Conventional Weapons, or CCW, which entered into the force in 1983, forbids using chemical weapons and intentionally blinding laser weapons, among other things. The founders call for adding morally wrong lethal autonomous weapon systems to the list. At the University of New South Wales in Sydney, an artificial intelligence professor, Toby Walsh, said, "Almost any technology may be used for good or harm. Artificial intelligence is no different. It can aid in addressing many of the urgent issues plaguing society now, such as the ongoing global financial crisis, inequality, and poverty. Yet, the same technology can be utilized to industrialize conflict through autonomous weaponry. We need to decide which of these futures that we want right now." One of the open letter's signatories, Elon Musk, has repeatedly emphasized the need for proactive regulation of artificial intelligence, even going as far as to call it the greatest existential threat to humanity. However, even though people believe that AI has a great potential for destruction, others think that this potential is far off. The IJCAI, one of the top AI conferences in the world, has previously served as a forum for discussing deadly autonomous weapon systems. 2 years ago, the conference was used to launch an open letter calling for a ban signed by thousands of AI and robotics researchers, including Elon Musk and Stephen Hawking. This helped spur the UN into holding official discussions on the technologies. Lethal autonomous weapons are already in use, even though the idea of killer robots conjures up images from science fiction, such as the T-800 from the Terminator or the ED-209 from RoboCop. Samsung's SGR-A1 sentry gun is in use along the South Korean border of the 2.5-mile-wide Korean demilitarized zone. It's rumored that this weapon is technically capable of firing autonomously, though it is still being determined whether this is actual deployment. The first of its kind with an autonomous system capable of performing surveillance, voice recognition, tracking, and firing with a mounted machine gun or grenade launcher was the fixed-place sentry gun, built on behalf of the South Korean government. Yet other autonomous weapon systems for land, air, and sea combat are also in development. Nevertheless, rumor or not, the Japanese government has been currently pressured by various human rights and international organizations to join an anti-killer robot campaign. Activists are very much against the development and manufacturing of robots that select and target humans to kill them without any human intervention. The campaign to stop killer robots has been initiated by a coalition of several non-governmental organizations. The worldwide organizer for the Killer Robots campaign and Human Rights Watch Director of Arms Advocacy, Mary Wareham, was in Tokyo on Saturday to attend a symposium at the University of Tokyo on the subject. To discuss her situation, she also met with the defense and foreign ministers of Japan, Taro Kono, and Takeshi Iwaya. So, do you think that humans are at the best intelligence, making killer robots that can overpower themselves? Or are we digging our own graves? Let us know in the comment section below. But with that, we end today's video. If you liked our video, then give us a big fat thumbs up and click that subscribe button.